Welcome to the Recovery Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Miller. I'm a stroke survivor and grateful recovering alcoholic. And I'm especially grateful that I just got to talk to my dad for a while. So thanks for calling me, Dad. It was a good conversation. Today, I wanted to talk about face the facts or blame others. On April 28th, 2016, I had to face the fact that I'm an alcoholic. Each day I wake up and face that fact. And upon realizing this fact, it came clear to me just how encapsulated my existence is to this finite box of time and space. And that within this box, I will never drink again. So at first, I refused to face the facts. And I've talked about it before. Guess what? I drank again because I refused to face the facts. I refused to accept it. One thing that I didn't do, though, during that time, at least I don't recall, was to blame someone else for the situation that I was in. I did know that alcoholism was, I couldn't, there was nobody to blame, because it was all internal to me. It was like the craving, the depression, the anxiety, the dishonesty. It all grew within me like a field of weeds, like a field of dandelions. And so although that's true, that's not to say that when I was drinking, I didn't blame everyone and everything for all that was happening to me. I didn't see that what was happening to me was a result of my drinking. I didn't see that I wasn't participating in my own life. And I made sure of that. How could anything be my fault if I wasn't even participating in my own life? I didn't do anything. Literally, I didn't do anything. So I didn't see how anything could be my fault, So as always, I try to draw parallels between my recovery from alcoholism and my stroke recovery. And I find that if I'm not doing the work in my recovery daily, I start looking for someone to blame for my situation. So what I mean by that is if I don't get up and go to my sobriety meeting and take that time to look inward and think, how is Rachel feeling today? I talked about that yesterday. How am I doing today? Am I ready for the day? Is there anything that I need to process, like any emotions that I need to process? And then after that, suiting up and showing up for my life. That means literally suiting up, getting dressed, walking my dogs, and then I come back and I do my research and write. Really, it's almost like a journal entry for my podcast episode. And then I do some cleaning around the house. I'm starting to get into this routine. I'm trying to be more than helpful around the house since I am not working. So I'm trying to find ways to be helpful to others, because if I just sit in my own little world and I'm not doing anything but trying to fill my time, then I find that I start to try to find someone to blame for how I'm feeling because I'm starting to feel bad. So blame is just another protection mechanism, I think. It's another way to protect ourselves and temporarily relieve anger. And it gives us an excuse to not process the anger, like I talked about yesterday. Instead, we need to take responsibility for the facts. And the facts of my situation are mine. They're mine and mine alone. So accepting the facts as they are in the present moment and then walking forward eliminates any space to blame. I don't have time to blame anyone if I'm just looking at today forward, because blame is a backward focused action. And like I mentioned in the episode about quit holding on to the past, we can't fully invest in our future if we're holding on to the past. Only I can change my situation because it's my situation. I've gotten myself trapped into the thought loop, a thought loop of blaming others dozens of times for my stroke. And mainly it's that I'm blaming the COVID vaccine and doctors. That's what I've been blaming. I don't understand. So I'll just vent for 1 second. I don't I don't understand how it can be so clear to me that my COVID vaccine was the cause of my stroke. Yet there is no doctor that will say that out loud. I've blamed so many doctors over the past 2 years for all of this. Yet I keep waking up and nothing has changed. So I started to see that blame wasn't changing my situation, much less improving my situation. There is no magical solution or ending to this story if somebody says, yes, the COVID vaccine caused a bunch of people to have strokes. It's not going to change the fact that I had a stroke. It's not going to change the fact that I can't work. But if I rise up above my situation and look down at it from a different perspective, that box of time and space seems so much smaller. It's so much less significant. How can I possibly spend another moment with blame and inaction when I've just got this tiny little box of time and space that's mine? So from that high viewpoint, I can see that my situation is really not the result of someone's bad choices, even my own. What I see from that viewpoint is that I'm a stroke survivor and not a stroke victim. That I was given a gift of life 2 years ago. Something wasn't taken away. Something was given to me. And because of that, I'm grateful because I wasn't done yet. I wasn't done yet here. A friend of mine said today, early this morning, said it takes time, patience, and work to change the path you're on. And I just loved that. I loved that. But first it takes facing the facts as they are. And that's something that that I'm working on. I'm trying to practice acceptance. And the more that I talk about these topics as I have over the past week talking about anger, talking about letting go of the past, talking about blame and acceptance, then it helps me continue to look forward, be grateful that I'm still here, and continue to put recovery first. So I'm just grateful today to be to be. I'm grateful to be today. So thank you for listening. It's a short one today. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.